I have been at TechVantage Solutions for 3 years. I am a marketing analyst. I am good at my job. I am on track for a promotion to senior analyst. My boss, Vivian Cross, the VP of Marketing, is the kind of woman who makes boardrooms go silent when she walks in. She is brilliant, terrifying, and the reason I have imposter syndrome every single day. I am also gay, but no one at work knows that. It is not that I am ashamed. It is that I work in tech marketing, which is dominated by men who make jokes about their wives and assume everyone is straight until proven otherwise. I have learned to code switch. At work, I am Morgan, the ambitious analyst who stays late and crushes campaigns. I talk about my weekend plans in vague terms. I say partner instead of girlfriend. I let people assume. My girlfriend's name is Kayla. We have been together for 8 months. She is patient, kind, and increasingly frustrated with me. She says I am married to my job. She says I am never really present. She is probably right. It was a Tuesday. I was in a quarterly review meeting. My phone kept buzzing in my pocket. I ignored it through the first half of the presentation, but eventually I snuck a glance under the table. Kayla had texted me. "You forgot our anniversary dinner again? I am tired of being second to your job." My stomach dropped. Our 8-month anniversary. I had completely forgotten. I had promised her I would leave work early. I had promised we would go to that new Italian place she wanted to try. And here I was, in a conference room, staring at spreadsheets. I felt the familiar wave of guilt. I always felt guilty. Guilty for working too much. Guilty for not being present. Guilty for choosing my career over my relationship over and over again. I started typing fast under the table, trying to compose a response that would fix it. "I am so sorry, baby. I miss you so much. I know I have been distant. Let me make it up to you tonight. I will leave early, I promise." I added a red heart emoji and hit send. I put my phone back in my pocket and tried to refocus on the meeting. 30 seconds later, my phone buzzed again. I pulled it out, expecting Kayla's response. But the name on the screen made my blood run cold. Vivian Cross, my boss, the VP, the woman sitting 3 seats down from me at this very meeting. I opened the text. It was short. 3 words that made my heart stop. My office. Now. I stared at the message. My brain was trying to process what was happening. Why would she text me to come to her office in the middle of a meeting? We were both here. If she needed to talk to me, she could just say it out loud. Then I saw it. Above her message in the thread was my text, the one I had just sent. "I am so sorry, baby. I miss you so much. I know I have been distant. Let me make it up to you tonight. I will leave early, I promise." Sent to Vivian Cross. Not to Kayla, to my boss. I scrolled up frantically, checking my sent messages. Yes, there it was. Sent to Vivian, 2 minutes ago. My hands started shaking. How did this happen? I opened my contacts. Kayla's contact name was Vivi. Vivian's contact name was Vivian Cross. But when I started typing in the message field, autocomplete must have pulled up Vivian first because her name starts with Vi and I text her more often for work. I had just sent a romantic text meant for my girlfriend to my boss, with a heart emoji, calling her baby. A colleague leaned over. "You okay? You look pale." I mumbled something incoherent, grabbed my notebook, and stood up. "Excuse me, I need to step out." I left the conference room. My legs felt like jelly. I walked down the hall to Vivian's office. The door was closed. I knocked. "Come in," her voice called from inside. I opened the door and stepped in. She was sitting behind her desk, perfectly composed in a gray blazer and white blouse. Her expression was unreadable. She gestured to the chair across from her. "Close the door. Sit." I closed the door. I sat. My heart was pounding so loud I was sure she could hear it. She did not say anything for a long moment. She just looked at me. Then she turned her laptop screen so I could see it. She had taken a screenshot of my text. "Want to explain this?" she asked. My mouth was dry. It was meant for my partner. Autocomplete error. "I am so sorry." Completely unprofessional. "Your partner?" she repeated. "Girlfriend?" This was it, the forced outing. I had never told anyone at work. I had been so careful. And now, because of a stupid text message my boss knew. Yes, I said quietly. She nodded slowly. And you have been hiding this because? It is not relevant to work, I said. She leaned back in her chair, studying me. Morgan, I do not care who you date. What I care about is that you just sent me a text meant for someone else, which tells me you are distracted. You are burned out. You are making mistakes. She paused. And more concerning, you called her baby, but you are texting during work hours because you forgot your anniversary. That is not a relationship. That is guilt management. I felt my face flush. With all due respect, my personal life is not your concern. She cut me off. It is when it affects your performance. You have been off for weeks. Now I know why. Another pause. Her voice softened, just slightly. Take the rest of the day. Go salvage your anniversary. And Morgan, next time you miss someone, actually go see them. Stop living in your phone. I stood up, nodded, and left her office. I walked to my desk, grabbed my bag, and left the building. I sat in my car in the parking lot for 10 minutes, just breathing. She had not fired me. She had not laughed at me. She had seen right through me. She had called out my relationship for what it was. Performative, distant, guilty. And the worst part was, she was right. I went home. I texted Kayla. I am so sorry. Can we do dinner tonight? I will make it up to you, she responded. Okay, 7 p.m. Do not be late. I was not late. I showed up at the restaurant at 6:55. Kayla was already there, looking beautiful in a green dress. I kissed her cheek and sat down. We ordered. We made small talk. But I could tell she was still upset. Halfway through dinner, she put down her fork and looked at me. You are still not here. What? I am here. I showed up. I am sitting right in front of you. You are physically here, she said, but your mind is at work. You have been checked out for months. I started to deny it, but I stopped, because it was true. I love you, she continued, but I do not think you love me. Not really. I think you love the idea of having someone waiting for you, but you are not present. You have not been for months. I did not know what to say. I felt tears prickling at the corners of my eyes. Is there someone else? She asked. I thought about Vivian's office, the way she had looked at me, the way she had seen right through me, the way that 5-minute conversation had made me feel more alive than I had felt in weeks with Kayla. No, I said, there is no one. But you are right, I am not present. You deserve better. We finished dinner quietly. We walked to our cars. We hugged. We agreed that we both knew this was not working. We broke up. I drove home and sat on my couch in the dark. I thought about the text, the one I had meant for Kayla. I miss you so much. Did I actually miss her? Or was it just something I was supposed to say? When was the last time I had genuinely missed her presence? When was the last time I had felt that ache of wanting to be near someone? I thought about Vivian. The way my heart raced when I saw her name on my phone. The way I worked harder on projects when I knew she would be reviewing them. The way I felt when she gave me feedback, even when it was critical. Seen, challenged, alive. Oh no. Oh fuck. I was not in love with Kayla. I was in love with my boss. The next day at work was torture. I avoided Vivian as much as possible. I worked from my desk. I skipped the morning team meeting, claiming I had client calls. I could not look at her. Not after the realization I had the night before. But 2 days later, she emailed me. Morgan, please see me at 4 p.m. today to discuss Q4 campaign strategy. Vivian. I showed up at 4 p.m. She was at her desk reviewing a report. She gestured for me to sit. How was your anniversary? She asked. We broke up, I said. She looked up. I'm sorry to hear that. It was the right call. You were right. I was not present. She nodded. And how are you doing? I am fine. Focusing on work. She looked at me for a long moment. Morgan, you do not have to hide who you are here. I know this industry is not always welcoming, but you are talented. You deserve to take up space as your full self. I felt something crack open in my chest. Thank you. She handed me a folder. This is the brief for the Q4 campaign. I want you to lead it. It is a big account, high visibility. If you do well, it will position you strongly for the senior analyst promotion. I took the folder. Thank you. I will not let you down. I know you will not, she said. Dismissed. I worked on that campaign like my life depended on it. I poured everything into it. I stayed late. I refined every detail. And every time I submitted a draft to Vivian, she gave me sharp, incisive feedback that made the work better. We started having more one-on-one meetings. Officially, they were about the campaign, but they started to feel like something else. She would ask me questions about my ideas. She would challenge my assumptions. She would tell me stories about her own career, the mistakes she made, the lessons she learned. One evening, 3 weeks after the text incident, we were both working late. I walked past her office and saw her light still on. I knocked. Still here? I asked. Could ask you the same thing, she said, looking up from her laptop. Just finishing the media buy breakdown. I will send it to you tonight. She gestured to the chair. Sit for a minute. You have been working nonstop. I sat. I am fine. You are going to burn out, Morgan. I have seen it happen. You are on track for the promotion. You do not have to kill yourself to prove your worth. I just want to do a good job. You are doing an excellent job. But you also need balance. When was the last time you did something that was not work-related? I thought about it. I could not remember. I broke up with my girlfriend. My social life has been non-existent. Vivian leaned back. Can I tell you something? Off the record? Sure. I used to be like you. I worked 80-hour weeks. I sacrificed my personal life for my career. I thought that was what it took to succeed as a woman in this industry. And I did succeed. But I also lost a lot along the way. She paused. I had an affair with a colleague 10 years ago. I was married at the time. To a man. It was a mess. It almost destroyed my career. I rebuilt, but I learned that there is a cost to ambition. And sometimes that cost is too high. I did not know what to say. Why are you telling me this? Because I see you making the same mistakes I did. And I do not want you to wake up at 38 and realize you have a VP title, but no life outside of work. I looked at her. Really looked at her. She was not the ice queen in that moment. She was a woman who had fought and won and lost and survived. Thank you, I said quietly. She smiled. A real smile. It transformed her face. Now go home. That media buy can wait until tomorrow. I went home. But I could not stop thinking about her, about what she had said, about the fact that she had trusted me with something so personal. 2 weeks later, I made a decision. I requested a meeting with HR. I asked about the company's fraternization policy. They told me that relationships between employees were allowed, but relationships between direct reports and their supervisors had to be disclosed, and one person had to transfer departments. I went back to my desk and stared at my computer. If I transferred departments, I would lose Vivian as my mentor. I would lose the momentum I had on the promotion, but I would remove the power dynamic. I spent a weekend thinking about it, about what I wanted, about who I wanted to be. On Monday, I requested a meeting with Vivian. I sat in her office. I had rehearsed what I was going to say 100 times. I need to request a transfer, I said. She frowned. Why? Is something wrong? No, everything is fine. But I have been thinking about my career path, and I think it would be beneficial for me to get experience in a different department. It was a lie. She knew it was a lie. I could see it in her eyes. Morgan. What is really going on? I took a breath. I need to remove the reporting relationship between us. She went very still. Why? Because I have feelings for you. And as long as I report to you, I cannot act on them. So I am requesting a transfer to the product marketing team. The silence was deafening. She did not say anything for what felt like an eternity. Then she said, very carefully, Morgan, you are up for a promotion. If you transfer now, you will have to wait another cycle. That is 6 months. I know. And you are willing to do that? Yes. She looked at me. Really looked at me. I cannot return those feelings while you report to me. You understand that. I understand. That is why I am transferring. Another long pause. If you transfer and if we pursue this, it will be public. People will talk. They will assume I gave you preferential treatment. They will question your competence and my judgment. I know. She stood up and walked to the window. She stood there for a long time, looking out at the city. Then she turned back to me. I knew. What? I knew you were queer. I have known for over a year. You are careful, but not careful enough. I saw the pride pin on your laptop bag once. You mentioned a girlfriend in passing at a happy hour when you were a little drunk. You deleted the comment immediately, but I heard it. I stared at her. You knew? Yes. And I have been protecting you from the gossip. This department has some people who are not kind about these things. I have shut down comments. I have made it clear that personal lives are not up for discussion. Why? Because I saw potential in you, and because I did not want you to go through what I went through. I felt tears burning in my eyes. Thank you. She walked back to her desk. Submit the transfer request. I will approve it. And Morgan? Once it is official, once you are no longer my direct report, we will talk. Really talk. I nodded. I left her office. I submitted the transfer request that afternoon. The next 6 weeks were the longest of my life. I worked on the Q4 campaign. I handed it off to another analyst when my transfer was approved. I moved to the product marketing team. Vivian recused herself from the promotion decision. I did not get promoted that cycle, but 10 weeks after I sent that wrong text, I walked into a coffee shop 3 blocks from the office. Vivian was already there, sitting at a corner table. She was not wearing a blazer. She was wearing jeans and a sweater. I had never seen her in jeans. I sat down across from her. Hi? Hi. This is weird, I said. Very weird, she agreed. We are not in the office. We do not have an agenda. I do not have feedback for you. I laughed. So what do? We talk. Like normal people. She took a sip of her coffee. Tell me something about yourself that has nothing to do with work. I thought about it. I like hiking. I have not been in years because I have been too busy. But I used to go every weekend. Where did you hike? I told her about trails in Oregon where I grew up. She told me about her divorce. We talked for 2 hours. It was easy, natural. When we left, she walked me to my car. I would like to do this again, she said. Me too. We did do it again. And again. We went on real dates. We learned each other outside of work. She told me about the affair that almost destroyed her career, about the years she spent rebuilding her reputation. I told her about growing up closeted in a small town, about the fear of being seen. 6 months later, we were in a relationship. A real one. We reported it to HR. We followed all the rules. Some colleagues whispered. Some made assumptions. But most people did not care. I got promoted to senior analyst in the next cycle. I earned it. Vivian had nothing to do with the decision. She had recused herself completely. 2 years later, I am a senior analyst. Vivian is still VP of marketing. We do not work directly together anymore, but we are in the same company. We have dinner together most nights. We hike on weekends. We are building a life that is not just work. And sometimes, when we are lying in bed, she will joke about that text, the one that started everything. You called me baby, she says, laughing. It was meant for my girlfriend. Lucky for you, I am your girlfriend now. I sent a miss you text to my boss instead of my girlfriend. She replied my office now. And it turned out to be the best mistake I ever made, because it forced me to stop hiding. It forced me to choose authenticity over ambition. And it led me to a woman who sees all of me and loves me anyway. Some wrong numbers are exactly right.